Welcome, everybody, to Yeshua Sabbath Church Hebrew language class. The name of this class is Hebrew Alphabet, or Aleph-Bet Ivrit. And this is session 1. And I'm naming it Hebrew Alphabet as opposed to Basic Hebrew because we're going to continue to show this video. Anybody that wants it, it's going to be available to them on YouTube. So we don't have to have another Basic Hebrew class. All righty? Now you can see the board to my left. You're right. This is the book we're going to be using. Now, if you look in the book, you are going to see lessons that look like this. At the top part of the page, above this bar, there's the lesson number, and then our current letters and vowels are over here in the upper right-hand corner for that particular lesson. If we go to lesson 2, in this case, we'll see that there are the new letters, and this is the letters we should already know. What I'm going to try to do is go through the upper bar part of the book quickly so we get the letters. Now, it's important to have the alphabet down. With the alphabet, you may go into doing such wonderful things as reading these words down here on this page, at the bottom of the page, which is our vocabulary. You will be responsible for knowing the letters. Here's another lesson. It gives us the new letters and all of the old letters that we should already know. There is a letter handout which gives the letters and the vowels and the prefixes, suffixes all on one page. And there's another handout over yonder that shows how to draw each of the letters. And if you got $2, you can buy one of these things. This thing is called machberet, or notebook. And it is lined, instead of the way we line things, it's lined for Hebrew, writing the Hebrew letters. And you can go ahead and use that, and it will be very, very helpful to put down the letters. There's enough space for them and so on and so forth, and it works real, real well. Use a large pencil. This is a children's book, so get a children's size thick number 2 pencil. Pardon me? You have them? I have them already ready to go. Good. I got them today. Oops. So, moving right along. Yes, sir? Will you be using one side of the screen more than the other, or both sides? I'll be using the whole screen. So, we need to start somewhere. Now, how this book, oh yeah, we got to use the microphone up here. If you want to talk and have it picked up or ask questions, you got to use that microphone. Otherwise, the people on Facebook and the video will never know what we're talking about. I'd have to repeat it, and I can't remember all that. Okay? Let me tell you how this book is arranged. You would expect it to be in alphabetical order. It's not. It's in an order that of similar looking letters. In English, we have many letters that look alike. We don't care. We just go right on along and so forth. Well, Hebrew has exactly the same problem. You will have that problem in reading Hebrew, and you will have that problem in writing. You will make mistakes based on what the letter looks like, or when you draw it, you don't draw it completely. For an example, let's say we wanted to draw a bet, and we would do like that. Well, you go later on to look at it, and it looks like that's either a daled or maybe it's a resh, and I don't know what this is, and you will have confused yourself pretty bad. And you've already, some of you have already experienced that. So when you're drawing a letter like the bet, I recommend do it carefully, like that. And when you have to put the little doggishy thing, the little dot in there, go for big. It really and honestly is your best help. And when you go to put down the vowels underneath it, make it a big deal. So we've already got part of our first lesson. Two similar letters, a bet and a vet. This letter is a bet, and this letter is a vet. The difference between the two is that dot. The dot changes the bet into a B sound. Without it, it's a V sound. The name Abraham, it is pronounced Avraham. But the vet, the second letter is a vet, can be pronounced as a B, as a bet, so you can say Abraham. Now I'm going to use this phrase, grammar rules, lots and lots of times. There are grammar rules in force here that make us have either bets or vets or whatever. This doggish thingy, that little red dot, or that little dot there, is it's a grammar rule thing that it can change very quickly, which gets us confused sometimes when we're looking at a letter. Okay, lesson 1. We don't need that. Lesson 1 was the bet, vet. Now, what they have here in the book is a B and a V, so right underneath that, you can write it with your own pen, bet and vet. Now, I suppose somewhere in here I have, oops, that's not right. Well, that's even not right or worse. That's the bet that we've been dealing with. And here is the vet. Now, this is what they look like in a block printed form. Okay, the vowel for this lesson is 2 dots that will appear underneath any letter. The letters are consonants. Letters are not vowels, except one, but that's another grammar rule. Okay, so the letters are consonants. You stick the vowel, a pronunciation marker, underneath the letter. That's these two dots down here. Oops, where did that come from? And these two dots are called a tsere. The two dots are a I got to get the spelling correct. One of my bad points is I don't know how to spell. A tsere, and the pronunciation sound is a Y. So this, a bet with a tsere, is bay. Okay? That's how simple this is. Everything is written in consonants, and we slap a vowel underneath it, and we know how to pronounce it. That's all there is to it. Everything is nicely, this is also a syllable all by itself. Bay, a syllable. Okay, that was page 1. Let us move to, on page 1, take a look at page 1 again. All over the place, there's these exercises. That's your homework. Take these exercises, and where it says write out each of the consonants, like this one you have to write out a bay, or in other words, a bet with a tsere underneath it. We write it here, we write 1, 2, 3, we write a whole bunch of those. Hebrew is read and written from right to left. That right there will really mess up your brain when you go to read on the screen on a Sabbath day, and we've got the Shema. The Hebrew part is right to left, and then right underneath it, left to right, is the English transliteration. For your brain to go forth and back, if you're young enough, it won't be a big problem. Some of us have problems with that, but it's okay. It works real good. Oh, and this is my mascot here. This is Roni. Roni means rejoice. Okay. So do the exercise. You don't even need me to hear for the exercise. You can do exercise 1 on page 1. Snappy as can be. Going to page 2, and you discover there is another exercise. On page 2, I've never used this program before. Oh. Will you look at that? Did you see how that worked? Wasn't that cool? Okay, we need to leave those alone. And let's get back over here, and I'm just going to draw a line. And we're going to go ahead and talk about page 2, which gives us 2 more letters, 2 more consonants, and 2 vowels. So the letters are going to be, make this a rounded. See how that's rounded right there? That's a resh. A resh, and it makes an R sound. And this is a dalet. I think in here they call it a dalet with a T on the end. Dalet or daled. I learned it as a daled. Dalet. E, D, and it makes a D sound. Got it? I can't hear you. What's going on? Am I involved? Okay, good. All right. Resh Daled, and the two vowels both make an ah sound. This one is called, this is a Klingon vowel. It's called the patak. And this one is called a kamatz. And they both make an ah sound. So one of these vowels under a resh is ra. Under a dalet is da. A-H. By the way, in Hebrew there is no ah sound. So the word Adonai does not exist. It's actually Adonai. A-H. Ah. So we can combine, okay, we got this. You're on page 2. Because here we are going to clear that. So if I took a bet, and I took a resh and combined those two letters, those two consonants, and I put a patak underneath it, the patak saying sound is ah. This saying sound of the B is a B, the bet is a B, and this resh is a R. Hi there. Therefore, this is a word bar. And it is pronounced, it's actually pronounced, let's get rid of that. It's actually pronounced ba, and then we add the R to it, so it's, I always like to add the H's in there so that we know to pronounce the ah sound, because if you write it out in English, it could be bear, especially here in Tennessee. But this is bar. Or, let's do another color. This one's got buku colors. Still a bet, and we're going to combine it with a dalet, and we're going to go like that. How would that get pronounced? B-A-H-D. Bod. Perfectly good word. And there are tons of nonsense words we can make with those 3 letters and those 3 vowels. And there's some of them that are on the on pages 2 and 3. They show us words like what's that word? That letter. it's a resh, it's an R, and if I combine it with another resh, and I do this, and I do this, how would I pronounce that two syllables? Ra, ra. Go ahead. Ra, ra, re. And this is ra, ra, raid. Syllables. One syllable. Second syllable. Third syllable. These two are combined. There's nothing there telling me what else to do with it. So the daled must be combined with the resh. Okay? You will see this intuitively. You already do it with English. It just intuits. Okay. Pardon me? Yeah, there's no vowel under the daled or associated with the daled because there's vowels that could be elsewhere. So therefore, these two have got to be a syllable. Hey, puppy. Okay, there are words. Oh, there are going to be times when you see a word and the pronunciations, the vowels there give you a pronunciation that sounds exactly like another word you may know, but they're spelled different. This is why I do not like transliterated text, because the word Shema means to hear, but there's another Shema spelled different altogether, and it means something else. So you get those things happen. That's why it's best to learn the Hebrew and not rely on transliterated. Transliterated is great to get you rolling. But then after a while, ignore it. Actually, my brain can't go this way and then that way too much because they don't work. Okay, there are some words that we can already spell or we can already say. One of them is a very, very common word, and it's called, we need a resh, and we need a vet, and I'm going to put this kamatz right there. This word is pronounced rav. Rav means rabbi, rav boats, or great, or multitude, or many. It doesn't mean great. Kelev, Rav. Kelev is dog. Rav, he's a great dog. He's a standard-sized dog. If he was little, he would be Kelev Katan. But not Kelev Gadol, because Gadol means like high priest, the top. Okay? Another word needs a bet and a resh, and we'll stick a patak under it, and this is pronounced bar, and it means son. Bar mitzvah, so-and-so, bar so-and-so. Also ben means son, but bar can mean son. Now we have already a word you're going to need to know a lot. We need a daled. We need a bet. And we need a resh. And I'm going to add a patak and a tzareh. And this is pronounced duh. Is that a D? Yeah. Duh. B-A-Y-R. You can slur it and say debear, but it's really debear. Debear means speak. Now here's something else. This is important about Hebrew. Let me get my selector thing here. I want to get rid of this stuff.
Can I ask
down
a
there.
question?
Sure.
Debar, debear are different. Debar. Can you say debar?
I'm going to get to that right now. Okay. In the in Hebrew, there is a 3-letter root. And if we took these and deleted them, this is a 3-letter root. Daled, bet, resh. And it can mean speak, word, thing. Yeshua is Debar Yahweh. We put different vowels. Whoops. We put different vowels to pronounce it. So I could say Debar. That's word. Which is similar to speak, yes? The verb to speak is debar. The word word is debar. The word thing, which is also kind of like a word, is debar or deber. The best thing that you start looking for when you're seeing a Hebrew word is the root. 3 letters. You can find those, if you can figure out those 3 letters from all the suffixes and the prefixes slapped on that word, you have got it made. You know what that word means, and all you got to do is figure out that those prefixes mean he spoke, or I speak, or something like that. Okay? There it is. That one word right there is very, very meaningful. Those 3 root, that 3-letter root. The root is also called a shorish. And I don't remember how to spell that. Okay, we did the bear. Are we moving right along okay? Is anybody lost? Again, do the exercises. There's page 2 with the daled, or the resh and the daled, and the ah and the ah sounds. So let's go. Here's our word deber down here on the bottom. Okay, you can see the little arrow? I tried to make the arrows. Okay, well, if you can't see it, don't worry about it. Next lesson, lesson 3, adds 1 more letter. We're doing good. This is how I wanted to do it in the first place. Ripping along. Get the letters down. We're going back over this, and we're going to do words until you're worded out. There are there's one letter, two letters. I don't know how to work this. Okay. The letter is looks like this W looking, oops, that ain't right. Looks kind of like this W looking thing. You make it like this, and then this third leggy thing here goes over to the left side. If you put a dot here, it's called a shin. And the sound is S-H. Shema starts with a shin. If you do the same thing, you go over here, you go up like that, you go over here like this, and you put it on that other side, it's a sin, S-I-N, but it's really pronounced seen. And it is just a straight S. That's it. In those, now there's on the lesson, you get to write down shins and sins, or scenes all over the place here, and you get to add some vowels, and you come up with a say. So a say would be, say. Okay? That's not a word, it's just a pronunciation, it's just a syllable. Or you could make a sa or a sa. Either one. And this is pronounced or spelled sa. Okay? You now have what? 7? No. You got 6 letters. From those 6 letters, on page 6, there's a whole bunch of words already. And we haven't even warmed up. We've been here for 40 minutes. Wow. It's important to know the difference between the sh and the s, the shin and the sin sound, the shin and the seen, because it's one of those things that'll throw you off once in a while and mess you up a little bit and things of that nature. The word Moshe, Moses, Moshe is spelled with a shin. Okay, you'll find these things. All right, I better not get too far in this. Last time we were here, last time we did this course, I jabbed way too much. Okay, I want to go to page 6. So if you'd go to page 6, the important part of this page is down here on the bottom where we have, okay, I wonder if I can do this. I tried this at home. You know, one of those don't try this at home things. Okay. And we do. Okay, this is our page. What happens if I go one more? That's kind of okay. On lines 7, 8, 9, actually 7 and 8 are nonsense words. and they're going to use all of the syllables or all of the letters, the consonants, and the vowels that we've got to date, and they will give us just nonsense sounds. So if we did how would we pronounce that? Sha. It's a sha-ba. Sha-ba. This is shab. That's a bet. Shab. What's that one? Rava. I'm over-pronouncing it, if that's a word. Here's where we have two consonants together, the one vowel. These are pronounced Rav. We just pronounce the two letters together with the vowel. All that vowel did is it wrote AH between it. Rav. Sha-ra. What's that one? Shar. Shalom. Shar. Okay, let's go over here. What's that? It's a da. It's an ah sound. Da be. Da be. Dob. Okay, this is a sin instead of a shin, so it's a Sarah, kind of like a name. Maybe we've heard that name before. Sar. Okay, Sar. Sha-Ray. Sha-Ray. And this is what we had with the chicken. Sauce. Okay, it's sauce. Good stuff. Very useful. Helps the chicken go down. Now we got real words. Let me do orange. I like orange. Okay. This is that, again, this is speak, but it's also many other words if we drop the vowels off of it. It's another root. How we pronounce that? Da, bear. Da, bear. Da, bear. And this is what the resh, this is resh. It's resh. So you want to tell the dog to sit, and you want to do it in Hebrew, you say shave. Not do that. No, oh, what a horrible thought. Sit. And that's, it truly is, that's the command. But those two letters are part of a root for to sit. We'll see it. This is what you are made of. So the two shall be one flesh. The two shall be basar echad. We'll get echad later. Basar is meat. You are made of meat. So the word basar also means, you're talking about the steak that you're going to eat, we're fixing to eat. Now, there is an idea for a supper. Steaks with baked potatoes. All right, yeah. Anyway, basar is meat or flesh, as in what we're made of. It's not you, your soul is a nephesh. And those two words are really big and distinctive in Scripture, in the Torah. When it talks to you about person just, and they just say you're like your carcass, your meat, your basar, that's one thing. But nefesh is the real you. It's the internal you. Okay. This is why I love Hebrew. And you're going to hear about it this week, because I got a piece of a message on a Hebrew word I found this week. Okay. When we do discussion at Sabbath, what are you doing? I don't want any of that. Oh, that thing's doing it? Okay. I thought it was this one was giving me a hard time. It's been giving me a hard time all morning. Explain. Darash is an explanation. Darash. I'll bring up other stuff later as we go along. I don't want to get too far. Broke as in he broke it, not as in no money. Is shavar. The number 6 is, try to pronounce that. It's a shin. Sheish. Just pronounce this part. It's, and then add the S. Well, that's really terrible. Add the SH. Sheish. And you got it. Hail is that hard stuff that falls from the sky. Not Hail Caesar, that's another word. Okay, so, and that's barad. Do you see it? The ba. Is this showing up good? Whoa! I want that for a screen. Oh, I like that. Ba. And then we have, this is one syllable, rod, ba-rod. Okay? We be happy? Can we go to one more lesson at least? Maybe we can do 2? Well, this is easy stuff. You're going to go along and you're just going to practice writing the letters. You're going to practice writing the letters from now until forever. Remember, we're in the age to come, we're going to be speaking this language. Now's a good time to get it so we feel it. I love Hebrew because it's meat and potatoes. It's really something you can get into. And it follows simple and straight rules. English doesn't. English is a dumpster language. They just pile stuff in there and hope you get it. And spelling. Okay. So I want to do the next one, which is lesson 4, which adds just 2 more letters. Actually, it's 1 more letter. I do not know why they did this. The new letter is a tav. You make it like that, and then come down from here and add a little tail. Touch. Got a touch right there. Now they have it tav, and they also have in the book tav. The difference in pronunciation is none. Unless you're being different from Ashkenazi or Sephardic Hebrew. Do you know what that is? Never mind. Let's just say that is a tav and it is a T. And it's the last letter of the Aleph-Bet. Yeshua is not the Alpha Omega. He is the Aleph Tav. So, there's a bunch of exercises in drawing a Tav, and then you get down there and you get to make some shins and Tavs and bets and ratios, and you're just going along having a good time, and you go over to the next page, and you got the same thing. Oh boy, we're having a good time. And then you get to my favorite page. Words. And this is going to be line 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Let's do purple. Okay. Page 9, number 8, first one. Notice I'm on the right-hand side, right to left. And the word is Shava. Yes? What would happen if there was that little dot there? How would it be pronounced? Shaba. Just like this one. Shaba. The vet is pronounced a V. The bet is pronounced a B. Shaba. What's that word? Rata. So how would you say rat? You can't, because there's no a. You'd have to say it English style. Rot. So if we were going to talk about, never mind. All right, that was silly. Rata. And this is Te Shah. Yes, Te Shah. Got the Tzure and a Patak. And this is Da Va. We've already had Da Bear, so we know if we put this right there, that little dot, we now have Da Ba. Yes? So this is Da Va. And this is, now remember that's a scene, the second letter is a scene, must be Ba Sa. Margaret's looking all them words up in the dictionary. Are there any words? Have I come up with any words yet? Rat, okay. And a Share. All right, let's get real words. Okay, this guy is pretty important. He's one of the, he and Noah related. And his name is not Seth. Now, okay, this is a good time to bring this up. When Hebrew got, when Hebrew got translated into other languages, lots of times things changed. In the scrolls, which would be the old writing, there were no vowels used anywhere. The Torah scroll in there has no vowels in it. So you don't know how the word's to be pronounced. Now there's a book that'll tell us how to pronounce it, but we don't see it. So the name is written in the in the Torah scroll, like that. Instead of with the dot here, there's no dot, so we don't know it's a shin or a sin, seen. So it gets pronounced set. And they add this H, it's Bethlehem. That's not the name of that town. Beit Lechem is the name of that town. And there's no TH at the end of it. It's just something that happened in the translations. Therefore, his name is Shayt. S-H-A-Y-T. By the way it's spelled. Shayt. Okay? Now that's only critical when you have to get up and read the scroll or something from Hebrew. If you said Seth when you see his name, okay, everybody knows who you're talking about anyway. So those are boo-boos that have collected anglicized words. We're going to get to one at the end of this thing here. The next word is Shah, right? Oops. Shah, rate. Shah, rate. And that means service, as from like a person that serves. It's not the same kind of word from a slave. That would be another word. A person that's a servant. Marcia's a servant. And she serves. She does sharet. Now there's other variations of that word, but the root is shin resh tav for that servant person. Okay.
You separate them?
Huh?
Sharet. Shah is circle that, and then rate is together, right?
Pronounced?
Yeah. Okay. Sharet.
Sharet. Okay, how do we pronounce glad? Sauce. Glad sauce. Moonshine? Is that what that is? You're on the sauce, man. No. But sauce means glad. Put, as in put it here or there, is, let's hear it, shot. So shot, put, shot. Okay? Memory cue, shot. This word, how is it actually pronounced? Shabbat. It has been turned into Sabbath. Here's where you got the TH thingy coming out of the Tav. The bet has turned into this ba. And this is dropped the SH, and it's just like a scene, and it's a sa. So it gets corrupted to Sabbath. Now, if I said Sabbath to everybody, you know what I mean. So the word corruption may be the wrong word, but it gets changed to Sabbath. But the technical term is, or the proper way to say it is Shabbat. That's why we sing Shabbat Shalom. Yes? Shalom is coming up. Okay, religion, as in what you believe, is it's a dot. I believe dot. That was terrible. A daughter is a bot. And very often English corruption says bat. Talk about bat Zion. Well, it's actually bot Zion. All right? Okay. I'm not sure how this. I don't remember why it says poetic form for many, but this is pronounced very much like Shabbat. It's Ra-Bot. Means many or lots of. And it's got we saw that Rav meant many. So drop all of the voweling to include the dot, and you got Rav, Resh, Vet. The difference between a vet and a bet is that dot. Rav, so many, okay, many, and then we just got that tav there at the end. What we got? We got to tremble, that's easy. Ratat. Ratty-tat-tat. Okay, this is ratat. And we've already had this word. We are made out of basar, which is obviously telling us when Yahweh made animals and stuff, he made them to eat because he made them out of meat, right? But then humans you're not supposed to eat them. Now, we could go to the next lesson, but I kind of don't want to yet. Have I whelmed you too much? Okay, if we went back to, let's get rid of that. We go back to page 7. Page 7 gives us the above the bar stuff, and we have our new letters, our tavs. What's this letter? Bet. Vet. Resh. Daled. Shin. Sin. Now, I kind of debate on whether to have you know the names of the vowels. Later, it will be important for you to know their names instead of just a, to know that this is a tzareh, and that's a patak, and that's a kamatz. Even though they give us sounds, grammar rules tell us when to use a kamatz over a patak and the other way around. And there are times, I'll tell you, I put together a siddur. Most of my Hebrew spelling errors are in there are my failure to get the pataks and the kamatzes correct. So it might be a minor thing, but because it doesn't change the pronunciation, it's pronounced the same way. It's However, it has some grammar somethings. And I totally didn't know that when I put the thing together, and now I do, and I don't know. So we just went an hour and a half? No, we went an hour. Go a little more? So why is this stuff important? Sir, ma'am, yes, what?
I can't take any more in my.
You can't take any more in your noggin?
But if you were to keep going over words after words of what we've just learned,
Yes.
I could probably maybe do that, but I couldn't take on another letter.
No, good.
Just saying.
So let's say, see this? This looks pretty complex, doesn't it? In fact, it really isn't. This is Leviticus 12, verse 1. Will this let me do anything? No. Vayadeber, first word. Daled, Beit, Resh. Deber. Speak. So this must be something to do with speak. Next word's Yahweh. Okay, we know who that is. Al Moshe. What's all mean? Okay, I don't really know, but it's something about Yahweh speaking, something Moshe. And then we also happen to just accidentally know that Amar means say. So we happen to know that something Amar or something say. So we've put it together and we've come up with speak or Yahweh. They write their sentences backwards. Think Yoda. That's how Hebrew talks. Yoda is Hebrew. So Yahweh speak, maybe this is a two. The all part right here, that word. So Yahweh speak to Moses, saying. Maybe that's what it says. You just took that phrase that's very, very common in Torah and found out what it meant, just knowing the roots of a couple of words and what all of the letters mean or how to pronounce all of the letters. That's where I want you guys on Facebook too. Can you look at that line and say, I know what that says, or you can figure it out. Now, you're not going to be able to stand up here and go rap and knock it off real fast and everybody's just, oh, it's amazing. That's not the goal. Can you sit down at home and take apart a sentence? And can you feel those words in you? Because the very next word that it starts out with, the next sentence is daber. We know what that word means, and we've only had one lesson. Daber means speak. Oh, all. I know what all means. It means two. B'nai. Ben. Oh, Ben, that's son. Or maybe it's children. Son. Oh, I know what Yisrael means. So it must say, speak to sons Israel. Wow. I almost got two whole lines read. Two whole verses. You see how it is? This is not difficult. It's difficult to us because the letters all go the wrong way and they look weird. But the new scroll that we've got and this website is BeverlyHillsKabod.com. Beverly Hills, and there's a lot of Jews in Beverly Hills. A lot of Jews there. BeverlyHillsKabod.com. And their front page looks like this, and it's Learn How to Read Torah. It shows you how to do all this stuff. You can turn on the sound and listen to the sound. Fine. I can't make out what the guy's saying. Anyway. Okay? You can do it. And that's my goal. Can you pick up a Hebrew Bible and research what the words are and discover how you've been, let me use the word, misinformed? Because you will notice, my NIV says in in Exodus 20, verse 6, that he extends love to all those generations and stuff. But the Hebrew word is chesed. Oh, wait a minute. That's not love. Hesed means grace. Well, Noah found chen, C-H-E-N. He found favor in the eyes of Yahweh. But that says hesed. It says unmerited favor. It doesn't say love. Love's ahava. And you would have known that by that time when you go look in there. And you'll find out, I've been misinformed. Of course, you might say it like I did years ago. I don't want to be mean and nasty about it, but that's what it was. I was misinformed. And the translators misinformed me. Okay. Have we had a good time? This is so much fun, I can't stand it. So let us close with one moment of prayer. Avenu Melkenu, our Father, our King, we praise your set-apart name, Yahweh. We thank you for your language. Help each one of us here and on the TV learn your language. B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach, in the name of Yeshua, Amen.